Howdy, welcome to lesson number 2 in Space Teams. This video is just on the basics of the platform itself and how to use everything. So I'm gonna head over to Colton to give you all an overview of everything, and I'll see you at the end of the video.
So as you can see, this is the login screen. Something like this should display as soon as you first open up the application. It will open up a web browser and ask you to log in through the web browser. I'm going to go ahead and do that here on my other screen. You simply enter in your email address that you use to sign up and your password, and it will present you with a screen that says logged in, and then you can come back here and you hit the validate login button, and it will retrieve the data to make sure that it knows who you are. And then it will show you this login as a member of drop down menu. I'm going to log in as my Sim Dynamics team. You will probably have a different team name, but you just select your team. And here we have the main menu of Space Teams Professional. So you can see there are a few options here on the left, as well as some things on the bottom. So starting from the top, we can click on our design tab. This shows all of the different design tools that you can use as part of Space Teams Professional. We have our Create New Sim, Solar System Editor, and CAD Import. Your Create New Sim will be the tool that you most likely use the most. An overview of that will come in a future video. We also have our Sim tab where you can browse a lot of pre-made sims that we include. You have your filters for core sims that are all our pre-made sims, and then also user-made sims are any sims that you have happened to create. I haven't made any and saved any on this instance yet, so mine is blank. But if we go to core sims, you can see we have a wealth of different sims to choose from. And if we go down to demos, these are some curated simulations that we're very proud of and are really good examples of things that Space Teams Professional can do. So we have our Solar System Explorer, an ISS sim, an EVA VR sim, and a few others. You can also go back if you ever want to go to the main menu again, and we have logout and exit a desktop. I'm not going to click these because they'll take me out of this application, but you can piece together what they do. We have our user information here along the bottom. Here's my username and the organization that I'm part of. And we have project management for just some user info. I don't have much configured right here right now, so it's very empty. And then we have our Sim Dynamics and Space Teams version information here across the bottom. So that is it for this main menu UI overview. And we are going to look at the Solar System Explorer demo because it is similar to the Create New Sim tool. So here we have demos. You can select Solar System Explorer as the top option. If we start our demo, it'll load the sim, and it gives us two options to start in. We can either start in Earth orbit or start at Apollo 17. I want to start in Earth orbit, so I'm going to select that and then start simulation. We start on the night side of Earth, and our camera lighting is a little wonky because we're looking at the dark side, but we're also dealing with sunrise on the side of the Earth. And so to deal with that, we can go to our exposure value slider here on the top right and adjust it. The default, it tries to auto adjust to your current lighting, but if we manually override, it can change. And if we go to the day side of the Earth and then adjust our exposure value a little bit more, we get this nice, pretty view of Earth. And so you can see Earth's label is above it. And if we look around, we can see labels for a lot of the other planets in the solar system as well. I'm moving around with WASD. And because I am close enough to Earth, I am in its reference frame. And so A and D are just moving me around in orbit around the Earth. If I move far enough away, we are now outside of Earth's reference frame. So instead of being my motion being based on the orbit around Earth, I'm more just moving in free space with WASD. You can control your camera speed with the mouse wheel. So you see this indicator near the top of the screen. We can go anywhere from meters or even millimeters per second, all the way up to fractions of the speed of light, and then even more up to solar system lengths per second. Um, these are really useful for just traversing around the solar system, trying to get to other planets. Um, so if we go to, let's see, I want to go to the moon, which we can see right here. Just tapping my W key to get closer. And as we get closer, I'm going to lower my camera speed so that I get a little better, finer control. Now we're in the moon's reference frame, so we're orbiting around it. Some of the other gadgets that are useful for the sim, we have our FOV slider. I'm going to keep it at 90, but you can adjust it however much you want. Let's get it somewhere close to 90. 91, sure, that's fine. Um, you also have some of these gadgets. We have an outliner that shows you all of the different entities and pawns inside of the sim. Pawns are things that you can control. So your spectator, Earth orbit, which we're piloting right now, and also our other spectator that is based on where Apollo 17 is, and then all the entities that exist in the sim. So all the planets, planet labels, and some other things that exist inside of this solar system. We can also look at our transform tool, which is a good tool to see. So to use this, we have entity to move, resident frame, and move relative to. The entity I want to move for this example is myself. So the pawn, you can see I get this green indicator around me that just shows that I have currently selected myself. And if we tab back over to the transform menu, oh wait, hold on. So it's a waiting selection. I want to select myself. Cool. Resident frame. Currently, our resident frame is the moon, and I want to move us relative to the moon. Okay, so we are moving our spectator relative to the moon. We can see our current coordinates in X, Y, and Z in relation to the moon. So if I change this to, let's say 0, 0, let's say 4,000, this is in kilometers. If we hit apply, boom, we teleport, and now we are 4,000 kilometers away in the Y direction from the moon. If we move with our arrow keys a little bit and then hit update the current, you can see that these values have changed because we're in a different position now. Let's see. Other good gadgets that you can use. I can drag it, this ram button, which if we select an entity, let's say I want to select myself, you can see all of the parameters associated with this entity. This is a lot of information, so I am not going to go over all of it, but you can do this with any entity that exists inside of your sim and get a very good idea of all the parameters that go into an entity. And then there's just some other useful tools like planet graphics, terrain overlays. You can switch your roles. I won't go into those. They're pretty self-explanatory, but they are very useful tools. All right. Let's see. We also have our help menu. So if you need to do any kind of hotkey controls, this is where you go, and it'll tell you what all your controls for the sim are. Finally, you can go to File, Save Sim As if you want to save your sim. It should bring up a dialog that says what you want your file's name to be, and then also the directory. The default is just Save Sims, which is probably where you're going to want it to be, and then you would just you would name it and call it something like My Sim, and then you would hit Save, and it would save into your Save Sims directory. And that should about cover it. This has been an overview of the Solar System Explorer, and it should be very similar to the Create New Sim tool that you will use later. Thank you, and have a good day.
That is all from the video. Make sure to check the link in the description and go to the wiki for the video. to use anything you need from this video when making your own programs or doing anything with space teams. Thank you. See you in the next video.